Good morning, everyone. Just testing to see if the sound is clear, if everyone can hear me. We'll just give it a few more minutes for those who are still joining, and then we'll get started. Okay, guys, let's jump straight into it. So, welcome back to another Webinar Wednesday. Hope you guys have had a productive week so far and are prepared for the rest of the week. Um, Today I want to talk to you guys about learning and upskilling yourselves. Um, so naturally, obviously, if you are in this session, if you are a student at IT Varsity, you are already well along on that journey of self-improvement and of learning. But you probably hear a lot of people say this, or this phrase comes in so many different forms. Things like learning is a journey. Once you start learning, you should never truly stop learning, or you only really get old when you stop learning. Um, and it just goes on and on. There are so many sayings and phrases stressing and emphasizing the importance of continuously learning and continuously improving yourself. And it really couldn't be any truer. In fact, I mean, if I had to tell you the piece of advice that my father has given me the most repeatedly and the most consistently, it's probably that, just to keep on learning, no matter what age you are, no matter what the topic is, just keep learning. I think every couple of days, probably he brings that up. Um, and it's like with him, he's always trying to encourage us to do that. So if I show even the smallest, or one of my brothers show even the smallest little interest in a topic, the next thing you know, he's buying us courses and books and sending us videos on that topic, even if it's not even work related, if it's some obscure little topic. But the idea that was he always tried to emphasize and push us to keep on learning about anything and about everything. Um, get addicted to learning. And the reason for that is it increases your knowledge and it increases your standing in the world. You are only really as valuable in the workspace or in the industry as the amount of knowledge you have. Um, and so when it comes to learning, right, you can break it down into, or what my father did was he categorized learning into three groups, into three tiers, all right? Tier three, which is the least important tier, that's just your random learnings here and there, things that are not related to your career, none of your hobbies, just random facts that you are interested in. So, if you have a slight interest in astronomy or bird watching, whatever that is, just to do a little bit of research into that once in a while, look into something. It's not really gonna further your career anyway. It's not gonna benefit to one of your hobbies, but it's still good to know, and it keeps your mind sharp. So it's still important to learn those kinds of things, just general knowledge thing. Your second tier, the middle tier, and the second most important tier is your somewhat serious learning. This is related now to your hobbies, things that you spend a lot of time on, a lot of your personal time on. So, I mean, that could be things like cooking, things like game development or robotics, whatever it is that interests you and that you want to take further. So that would be your tier two learning. And then your tier three learning, or tier one learning, sorry, which is your most important tier and the one that you should dedicate most of your time towards, is your professional learning. Learning in your professional capacity, either to get into a career or to go further in your career, which is an important point. Learning shouldn't only be just to get a foot in the door, but it should keep on going beyond that. So you don't just become established or enter the industry, but you become renowned in the industry, you become famed in that industry, you become exceptional. That should always be the goal, not just to enter, but to become exceptional. And the only way you can do that is through learning, right? Now, when you're learning, obviously, again, you can looking at just your professional learning, right? Just look at that for today. You can break that down further into three additional categories, right? The highest category would be your uh, long courses, your qualification. So if you're studying at IT varsity, you are already undertaking a learning in this capacity. These are your long courses, could be a year or more, and they generally come with a qualification. And these courses are important because they are packages that have everything you need to get started in a career. For example, if you're studying the React front-end course for IT Varsity, it has everything you need to get an understanding of the industry and then enter that industry at a junior level. So that's where these courses come in very handy. And these will generally form the foundation of your learning. Then one level below that would be short courses. And these are also incredibly important and beneficial. Short courses generally isolate a specific topic or a specific technology and give you just a crash course on that alone. These are important for now learning further and adding on top of your qualifications. So if you're learning app development, right, you're getting a qualification or you have a qualification in app development, that's your core. I mean, that is going to sit at the center, but there is so much more that you can learn about app development. And to get into a career in app development, there's so much that you can learn around that to complement your app development skills. And short courses are best way of doing this. Short courses, platforms like Udemy or LinkedIn or IT Varsity, we also have a few short courses, quite a few coming up over the next few months. Those are some of the platforms you can find short courses on. And the nice thing about short courses is they generally come with like a certificate of completion when you're done from the institute, the site that you've learned it from, which is very, very handy to have because it allows you to then market that skill that you have and advertise that, that you learned this, experience in this, and if anybody is looking for that kind of skill, you're the go-to person. So when you get those kinds of certificates, it's always good to put them everywhere you can on your portfolio website, on your LinkedIn page. Very important. If you don't have a LinkedIn page, please go and set one up and populate it. I think we should probably do an entire episode at some point just on LinkedIn, on setting up your profile and making it look professional because it really is a fantastic platform. Um, and actually, I'll give you a real world example. yesterday, uh, we were we were in a sales meeting and we needed some help with setting up a process on our CRM system. We use Zoho as our customer relationship management system. And within our team, we didn't really have the experience needed to do what we needed. So the easiest thing to do is just go out and bring in an expert or someone with experience to consult with. And so we head over to LinkedIn and to start searching for people in South Africa that are experienced with CRM systems. And just entering that search in, and there were dozens and dozens of people advertising their skills. But this one guy caught our attention specifically because on his profile he had a list of the things that he studied and the things that he had experience with, and he had a certificate for some Zoho training that he had completed. Zoho is the platform that we use, which was exactly what we were looking for. We want someone with experience and training on that platform to come in and consult us on setting up some processes for IT varsity. And so because he had that certificate and he put it on his LinkedIn profile, he caught our eye, we reached out to him, and later today we have a meeting set up with him where he's going to take us through some training. So it was just that certificate that he added to his profile that made that difference and made him stand out from the dozens and dozens of other individuals that came up in that search. So that's the benefit of these short courses and additional trainings, and that should emphasize the importance of uploading those certificates and making it known, right? So again, if your main qualification will be something like app development, right? But on the peripherals, further your learning as much as you can in every one of those fields, and then advertising. So you're learning app development, fantastic. Do a short course on UI and UX design, get a certificate, put it out there. Do a course on software project management, on agile development framework, on CIDI development frameworks, things like that, and then add it, because you never know. Someone could be looking for a very specific skill and they come across your profile, and it's going to be that little thing that sets you apart, that makes your profile more attractive and get more attention than everyone else's. So don't just settle for your qualification. Go above that and learn as many of these supporting skills and further learnings as you can. So that's your tier 2 learning. And then your tier 3 would be your YouTube videos, your blog posts that just give you basic information on certain topics. These are nice just if you need a little touch up here or there, or want to know how to do very specific things. These YouTube videos, they're not very extensive most of the time, but they are very, very useful because, well, basically anything you want to do is someone has probably made a video about it and has uploaded it. So if you need a quick refresher, or you want to know how to use want a quick 10-minute walkthrough on how to use a specific software, there's probably a YouTube video out there for that. And so that would be the tier 3. Another thing about YouTube videos is obviously you're not going to be able to get a certificate from that and advertise it anyway, but it's still very, very handy to expand your knowledge and your understandings on a personal level. So that's your 3 layers of learning when it comes to improving your professional career. So bottom, tier 3 would be YouTube. Tier 2 would be your short courses, which oftentimes give you your certificates, which you should always advertise and upload everywhere. And then your tier 1 would be your qualifications, which form the foundation of your career-oriented learning. Any questions, guys? Are we all on board so far? If you have any questions, just drop them in on the chat and I'll pick them up. But yeah, so to summarize what this entire webinar was about is just keep on learning. At the moment, you are doing a full qualification, and it does get quite intense. So don't stress it too much. That should be taken up the bulk of your time. But if you have the time and the capacity, and if you try to make a little time to just study few additional things and expand your learning, try to improve the quality of your projects and your assessments by adding things that you've learned in your own personal capacity. It's a good place, it's a good way to practice. And then later on, when you complete this course, don't stop there. Don't stall. Further your learning by going after and enrolling into short courses that are going to, number one, further your knowledge on the topics you learned within your qualification, but also introduce new topics that are going to support your career development and allow you to truly establish yourself as an exceptional individual in the field, right? Remember, development and IT, digital business, is an extremely lucrative, extremely rewarding field, but it's also a very huge field, and it's growing consistently. Uh, Thousands and thousands of people are joining it every single month. So you need to really put the work in so you stand out from the crowd and you become exceptional. Okay, we have a question. How do you use what you learn to get future employees to notice you? Easiest way is social media. Um, Show off your skills. You probably came across the term show, don't tell. Um, and that's exactly what it is. So put together a portfolio of your work and things that you can do, your projects that you've done, this from the simplest things to the most complicated things, whatever it is. Um, so your projects on IT Varsity, you upload them all to GitHub, and you set up your GitHub Pages link so it can be viewed in the browser. That's an excellent way of showcasing your work. And then when you get to one of the later modules, you actually develop a portfolio website, which again just allows you to showcase all of your work. Then take all of that and list it on your LinkedIn page. LinkedIn is a phenomenal platform when it comes to showcasing your skill because, I mean, although it might not be as big as some of the other social media platforms, but in the professional world, it really is so important. So many employers will go to LinkedIn when they're looking for people, or if you apply and want more information about you, they're going to go check out your LinkedIn profile. Yeah, it's still used very widely in that sense. So yeah, set up your LinkedIn profile, uh, list all of your learnings there, list all of your experience there, put some links to your projects there, and it'll go a long way. Um, I think we really should do an episode. Maybe in one of the coming weeks, we'll do an episode on setting up a good LinkedIn account. But between then and now, I think everyone who is here, go out, set up a LinkedIn profile a LinkedIn account if you don't already have one, and then set it up a little bit as best you can. Then what we'll do in the coming weeks is we'll have a webinar where we just take you through the best practices of a LinkedIn profile. Could you still learn IT skills and technologies as a tier one learning to help you get into a completely different field? Yeah, so the thing about this tiers is that, or the tier one, is that it doesn't have to be necessarily about one career. Sometimes people have two things that they're going, or you're in one career and you want to switch to another one. So it still would be a tier one learning. Tier one just means that it's actually going to help you out in your current career or future career or an alternate career that you're launching. Anything that you plan to take professionally would be considered a tier one learning and should be given the highest level of importance. I think, you know what I'm going to do for you guys? Maybe I'll create this little diagram of this tiered learning approach and send it out to everyone, just so you can visualize it a little better. get an understanding of where you should focus your time. So I'm just going to take a note of that. Cool. Hey guys, I think we'll leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you joined in late, as always, these the recordings of these sessions go on to YouTube. It should be on YouTube by later today, so you can watch it there, or if you want to recap. But yeah, thank you all for joining, and yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye, everyone.